Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Simple Language channel. I hope you are doing well today. In this channel, we learn English in a simple and easy way. We speak slowly and use easy words. Let's begin.
Hey, Brian, you look really frustrated. Is everything okay?
Honestly, not really. I've been trying to improve my English for almost 6 months now. I bought grammar books, downloaded vocabulary apps, made hundreds of flashcards. I'm drowning in study materials, but I still freeze up whenever I need to actually speak with someone.
The classic mistake. I see this all the time. You're treating English like you're preparing for a university exam instead of learning a practical skill. Tell me, when was the last time you just used English without thinking about grammar rules?
Used it without thinking? That's exactly my problem. I have to think about everything. Every single sentence I want to say, I first write it in my head in my native language, then I try to translate it word by word into English. It's absolutely exhausting, and by the time I finish translating in my mind, the conversation has already moved on.
Right, and that's precisely why you're stuck in the same place. Your brain is doing double the work it needs to do. What if I told you there's a way to train yourself to think directly in English without any translation at all?
I'd probably say you're oversimplifying things. How is that even possible? I mean, I've been thinking in my native language my entire life. You can't just switch languages in your brain like changing a TV channel.
It's actually much simpler than you think, and it doesn't happen all at once. You start small, really small. Start with one thought at a time. Right now, look around this coffee shop and describe what you see, but only in your head, using English. Just basic, simple stuff. Nothing complicated.
Okay, let me try. The walls are white. There's a woman drinking coffee at the corner table. The music is too loud. That man is working on his laptop. That actually wasn't as difficult as I expected it to be.
Exactly. And did you notice you didn't translate those sentences? You just thought them directly in English. That's your starting point, my friend. Do that throughout your entire day. Narrate your life like you're the main character in a movie. I'm walking to the bus stop. The weather is cold today. I need to remember to buy milk on my way home.
So I'm basically just talking to myself mentally? Won't people think I'm going crazy?
It's all in your head, so nobody knows. But yes, for now, it's mental. Eventually, when you feel more confident, you can whisper it to yourself. Then later, say it out loud when you're alone. Your brain needs massive amounts of repetition to make English feel natural instead of foreign. Think of it like learning to ride a bike. You don't sit down and study the physics of balance and momentum. You just practice over and over until it clicks.
That actually makes a lot of sense when you put it that way. But what about listening comprehension? I watch English TV shows and movies with subtitles, but I still can't understand native speakers when they talk at normal speed in real life.
Okay, here's your second problem. Subtitles are a crutch. They're keeping you in reading mode instead of listening mode. Your eyes are doing all the work while your ears are just there. Here's what I'd suggest instead. Find audio content at your level. Could be a podcast, a YouTube channel for learners, audiobooks, anything really, and just listen for 10 or 15 minutes every single day. Make it part of your routine, like during breakfast or while you're commuting.
But if I don't understand most of what they're saying, what's the point? I'll just be listening to noise.
That's where you're wrong. The point isn't to understand every single word right away. The point is exposure. Your brain is an incredible pattern recognition machine. The more you hear natural English, the rhythm, the flow, the way words connect and blend together, the more your brain automatically starts picking up on those patterns. You're training your ear to recognize English sounds and structures.
All right, I can see the logic there. But I feel like I need something more active than just listening. Sitting there passively feels like I'm not really doing anything.
That's a fair point, and I agree with you. That's where a technique called shadowing comes in. Have you heard of it? Shadowing? Like following someone around like a shadow? Kind of, yeah, but with your voice. Here's how it works. You listen to a sentence or phrase in English, and immediately, like within 1 or 2 seconds, you repeat it exactly as you heard it. Same tone, same speed, same rhythm, same emotion. You're basically becoming an echo of what you hear.
That sounds pretty awkward. Do I have to understand what I'm saying while I'm doing it?
Not at first, actually, and this surprises most people. The goal initially isn't comprehension. It's training your mouth muscles and your brain to produce English sounds naturally and automatically. The understanding follows later. It's like when babies learn to speak. They imitate sounds long before they understand what those sounds mean. Try it right now with me. I'll say something and you repeat it exactly. I want to speak English fluently.
I want to speak English fluently.
Good start, but try again and this time match my rhythm exactly. Don't pause between words. Listen, I want to speak English fluently.
I want to speak English fluently. Ah, I hear it now. You're connecting the words together smoothly. You're not saying each word separately the way I normally would.
Bingo. That's natural speech. That's how native speakers actually talk. If you do just 5 minutes of shadowing practice every day, you'll notice a huge difference in how smoothly and confidently you can speak. It dramatically reduces that hesitation you were talking about earlier. Just 5 minutes? That's all it takes? 5 minutes of focused, consistent practice every single day is far more effective than doing 1 or 2 hours once a week. Consistency beats intensity when it comes to language learning. Make it a small habit, like brushing your teeth. You don't think about brushing your teeth, you just do it every day automatically.
Okay, I'm definitely starting to see a pattern here. Small, consistent actions instead of big, overwhelming study sessions. What else should I be doing?
Reading out loud is another powerful technique that most people completely ignore. And I don't mean reading boring grammar textbooks or academic articles. Grab something fun and interesting, a children's book, a comic book, dialogue from a TV show you like, song lyrics, whatever. Read it out loud to yourself. Start slowly at first, focusing on pronunciation, then gradually pick up speed. Add emotion and expression, like you're an actor performing on stage.
Why does it have to be out loud? Isn't silent reading good enough for improving?
Silent reading helps with vocabulary and grammar recognition, sure, but it doesn't engage your speaking muscles, your tongue, your lips, your jaw. Reading out loud forces you to actually pronounce the words correctly, to hear yourself speaking, and to catch your own mistakes. Plus, it builds tremendous confidence. You're literally hearing yourself speak English successfully, which creates positive reinforcement in your brain.
Huh, I never thought about it that way before. I always assumed I needed to find a conversation partner or join a speaking club to practice speaking skills.
Conversation partners definitely help, don't get me wrong, but you can accomplish so much on your own first. Actually, here's another practical tip. Integrate English into your daily routines and environment so it stops feeling like study time or homework. Change your phone settings to English. Switch your computer or tablet to English. Write a short diary entry before bed. Just 3 sentences about your day.
A diary? Really? That seems so simple.
That's exactly the point. It should be simple. It doesn't have to be fancy or literary, just 3 basic sentences. Today, I went to the gym. I felt really tired afterwards. I ate pasta for dinner. That's it. Over time, you'll naturally want to write more, use more interesting vocabulary, experiment with different grammar structures, but starting small removes all the pressure and makes it easy to maintain the habit.
What about speaking with real people, though? That's what really scares me. I get so nervous in conversations that I forget everything I've learned.
That's completely normal, and almost everyone experiences that. Your brain goes into panic mode because you're worried about making mistakes or looking foolish. But here's the important thing you need to understand. You need to completely reframe how you think about conversations. You're not performing for a grade or a test score. You're simply communicating, sharing ideas, connecting with another human being. If you stumble over words, so what? Native speakers stumble too. The goal is connection and understanding, not perfection.
That's easier said than done when you're actually in the moment and your mind goes blank.
Absolutely true, but regular practice gradually reduces that anxiety. And you don't have to jump into the deep end immediately.
Join an online language exchange community. There are tons of free ones. These are low-pressure environments where everyone understands that mistakes are part of learning. Even something as simple as commenting on YouTube videos in English counts as real practice.
YouTube comments as practice? That almost seems too simple to be effective.
The best strategies usually are simple. The difficult part isn't finding complex, sophisticated techniques. It's being consistent with the simple ones day after day. You're trying to make English a natural part of your life, not a separate chore that you dread doing.
So basically, instead of sitting down for 2 or 3 hours on the weekend to study English, I should sprinkle small amounts of English practice throughout my entire week in tiny doses.
Exactly right. That's the secret that most people never figure out. Listen to a podcast during breakfast. Practice shadowing during your commute on the bus or train. Think in English while you're standing in line at the grocery store. Read something aloud before bed. It all adds up quickly, and it feels much less overwhelming than blocking out huge chunks of time.
I have to admit, this approach sounds way more doable and realistic than what I've been trying to do. But won't it take forever to see actual results with such small daily practice?
Define forever. You'll start noticing small wins within just a few weeks, suddenly understanding a phrase you didn't catch before, speaking a sentence without that mental translation delay, recognizing a word you've been hearing repeatedly. Fluency isn't a destination you arrive at, it's a journey you're always on. You're never completely done learning a language, even in your native tongue. You're always improving, always learning new expressions and words.
That's oddly reassuring, actually. I think I've been so obsessed with reaching some perfect native-like level that I completely forgot to enjoy the actual process of learning.
There's your real problem right there. You're treating English like a mountain you have to climb as fast as possible, instead of a path you walk at your own pace. Some days you'll make big strides and feel amazing. Some days you'll plateau, or even feel like you're going backward. Both situations are completely fine and normal. Just keep walking forward. Keep practicing, keep exposing yourself to the language.
All right, I'm convinced. You've sold me on this approach. Where exactly should I start?
Today, right now, pick just one thing, only one. Don't try to do everything at once. Maybe start by thinking in English during your walk home this evening. Notice everything around you and describe it mentally in English. Tomorrow, add 5 minutes of shadowing practice with a podcast episode or YouTube video. The next day, read 1 page of something aloud. Build the habit slowly, brick by brick. The key is making each individual action so easy and small that you can't say no to doing it.
One thing at a time. I can definitely do that. That doesn't sound scary at all.
Of course you can do it. And I promise you, 1 month from now, you'll look back at today and be genuinely surprised at how much more natural and comfortable English feels. You just have to trust the process and trust yourself.
You know what? I'm actually feeling excited about this now instead of overwhelmed. Thanks, Mark. I genuinely feel like I have a clear direction now instead of just randomly trying different things.
That's exactly what I wanted to hear. Remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about being consistent and patient with yourself. You're going to make mistakes, lots of them. That's not failure, that's learning. Every mistake teaches your brain something new.
What if I feel like I'm not improving fast enough? What if I get discouraged?
That's going to happen sometimes. I won't lie to you. Language learning isn't a straight line upward. You'll have good days and frustrating days. On the frustrating days, remember why you started. Maybe keep a journal where you write down small victories. Today, I understood a whole conversation at the coffee shop, or I explained something in English without translating first. Looking back at those notes will remind you how far you've actually come.
That's a great idea. I never thought about tracking progress that way. I've always just focused on what I still can't do instead of celebrating what I can do.
Most people make that mistake. We're really good at seeing our weaknesses and really bad at acknowledging our strengths. Celebrate the small wins. Every single word you learn, every sentence you speak, every video you understand. Those are all victories worth recognizing.
Okay, I'm making a mental note of that. What about pronunciation? I'm really worried that my accent is terrible and people won't understand me.
Here's the truth about accents. Everyone has one, including native speakers. British people have different accents from Americans, Australians sound different from Canadians, and even within one country, there are dozens of regional accents. The goal isn't to sound like you grew up in London or New York. The goal is to be clearly understood. As long as people can understand what you're saying, your accent is perfectly fine.
Really? I always thought I needed to sound exactly like a native speaker.
That's a myth that makes people unnecessarily stressed. Some people naturally develop very native-like accents, and some people keep their original accent their whole lives. Both are completely okay. Focus on clear pronunciation, proper stress on syllables, and natural rhythm. Those things matter much more than trying to eliminate your accent completely. In fact, your accent is part of your identity. It shows where you're from, and there's nothing wrong with that.
That takes a lot of pressure off, honestly. I've been watching pronunciation videos and trying to copy exact mouth positions and tongue placements, and it's been driving me crazy.
Basic pronunciation practice is useful, don't get me wrong, but don't obsess over it. The shadowing technique we talked about earlier will naturally improve your pronunciation over time because you're mimicking native speakers. Your mouth gradually learns the right movements through repetition, not through conscious effort.
This whole conversation has completely changed my perspective. I've been approaching English learning in totally the wrong way.
Don't be too hard on yourself. Most learners make the same mistakes because schools teach languages in a very academic, textbook-focused way. But language is a living, breathing thing. It's meant to be used, not just studied. You learn by doing, not by memorizing rules.
So, what's the single most important piece of advice you'd give me?
Make English a part of your daily life, not something separate from it. Stop dividing your time into English time and regular life time. Mix them together. Watch English videos about your hobbies. Follow English-speaking social media accounts about topics you care about. When English becomes connected to things you already enjoy, it stops feeling like work.
That makes so much sense. I've been treating English like medicine I have to take, something unpleasant but necessary.
Exactly, and that attitude makes it feel like a burden. But if you connect English to things that already bring you joy and interest, it becomes fun. Love cooking? Watch cooking videos in English. Interested in fitness? Follow fitness influencers who speak English.
I love photography, so I should be looking at photography content in English?
Absolutely. Read photography blogs, watch tutorial videos, join English-speaking photography forums, follow photographers on Instagram who post in English. You'll learn English while learning more about photography. 2 birds, 1 stone.
I never thought of this before. This is brilliant.
Because most people think of language learning as separate from their interests and hobbies, but combining them is the secret to staying motivated long-term. When you're genuinely interested in the content, you forget you're even studying.
All right, I'm going home right now to start implementing all of this. Thank you so much, Mark. This has been incredibly helpful.
My pleasure. Remember, start small, be consistent, be patient with yourself, and most importantly, enjoy the journey. Send me a message in a month and let me know how it's going.
I definitely will. I'm actually looking forward to practicing now instead of dreading it.
That's the right attitude. Good luck, Brian. You've got this.
Thanks, Mark. See you soon.